Now we have some public forums. I'd like to welcome Dr. Dave Carter and Dr. Catherine Hode, who are joining us online. Good. To present their recent research on the economic and wellbeing value of live performance in New Zealand. Welcome.
Kia ora. Thank you so much for your time. Ko Catherine Hode taku ingoa. So we're both lecturers and researchers here at the Pukeahu campus of Massey University here in Te Whanganui-a-Tara. And we're going to briefly speak today to the findings of a project we released late last year titled Measuring and Articulating the Value of Live Performance in Aotearoa. Could we have the next slide, please? So over a period of 18 months, we worked with the live performance sector and audiences across the motu to build an evidence base for the value of live performance in Aotearoa. This work was funded by Manatū Tonga, and it involved surveying 13,000 audience members at 323 events across all regions of Aotearoa between June of 2023 and July of 2024. We then surveyed another 5,000 people from the general public to produce a representative sample of attendance at live performance in Aotearoa. We analysed 743 annual reports of live performance producers. We analysed Te Taiohanga, the Treasury's budget papers, and we spoke extensively with sector stakeholders and undertook whakawhiti kōrero with audiences.
We have the next slide, please. This extensive and really detailed data enabled us to put some very large numbers, $17.3 billion, to the benefits associated and contributed by live performance activity in Aotearoa using cost-benefit analysis. Can we have the next slide, please? Probably more importantly, we were able to show that for every dollar spent on live performance across the motu, $3.20 in value is returned to the community in benefits including economic, social and well-being. Can we have the next slide, please? These benefits include 60,500 jobs created, $3 billion in profits retained by businesses all across the country, 209 million in taxation revenue derived from about a 75 million more of government spend on live performance. And in total, those economic benefits contribute about 1.4% of GDP. Can we have the next slide, please? We can also show that volunteering contributed $1.2 billion of value through the generous contribution of time that those folk make to live performance. And if we go to the next slide, that live performance contributes about $7.5 billion in wellbeing benefits using the Treasury's own modelling. All of this is detailed a lot more extensively in the report. Can we have the next slide, please?
So what we wanted to use this brief time today to speak to is aspects of this research that were particularly pertinent to Christchurch and to Canterbury more generally. I think this is particularly relevant because you might have noticed on the front slide that we had a researcher from the University of Canterbury who was also part of this project. So shout out to Johnny Wilson. So this includes factors such as the role of performing arts in contributing to community resilience and wellbeing. We know that this was particularly important for the producers that we spoke to in terms of the stronghold that the arts continue to represent in the wake of trauma in Canterbury. As well as Christchurch having this really strong emerging brand as a cultural and creative hub, particularly amongst young folks and families. So we know from the research that Christchurch has a really unique opportunity for targeted sustainable investment in small to medium art spaces and venues as key cultural infrastructure. And there's a real opportunity here for a planning approach to deliver cultural precincts that have protections for sound and accessible amenities. But we know that that's an opportunity that's not currently afforded to other cities across the motu. But without these protections, Christchurch's aspirations to become a cultural powerhouse and the city's cultural identity could be at risk of being undermined. We're really grateful for the opportunity today to share this mahi with you all. We're excited to the opportunity to hand these numbers over through the report and really opening up kōrero about what those next steps could be and of what help we could be to you. Could we have the next slide, please? So I know we've got some brief time for some partai today, but if you're keen on continuing these conversations, please just drop us a line at that email address on the screen. So ngā mihi nui, thank you for your time.
Very good. Timothy.
Yeah, hey, look, thank you very much for the work that you've done. Just to a slight reminder that Christchurch has always been leader in creative arts, go way back to the 50s with Max Merritt and the Meteors and others, Ray Columbus in the 70s, etc., etc. But the question I have is, does your research link up with the metrics that Christchurch NZ and the associated groups that we have connected with them when we calculate value to the dollar spent in Christchurch?
I don't think we can't speak to how those two things link up. We can speak to this research uses like the standard treasury modelling for what a cost-benefit analysis is. So assuming that same modelling is being used, then yes, it aligns.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Dead on time. Thank you so much for making the effort to come and talk to us. Wonderful.
Kia ora.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Okay, I'd now like to welcome Anne Farrell, who is here to talk about freedom camping at Broad Park Road. Good morning.
Hi, my name is Anne and my husband and I live at 3 Broad Park Road and we've lived there for 10 years. We wanted to retire in this house and we had lots of plans for when we retired. But last year we both retired. However, last year our life took a turn for the worse, and that was when Broad Park Road was turned into a camping ground. We could talk about the normal things like the mess, the inconvenience with no parks. However, ours is a different problem that is affecting our health and our quality of life. For us, it is the noise that these vans create night after night. I've given a little leaflet there for which my husband has gone through every night and written down our wait times through that night. Out of the last 140 days, we have only had 25 nights of unbroken sleep. And in the balance, we have 83 nights of being disturbed once a night, 33 nights of 2 or 3 times a night of being disturbed. This has caused a real issue for us because we have to sleep late and our bodies are struggling to get up and go. Seldom are we ready to go in the mornings till at least 9:30. The motivation to do anything is just gone. I have looked at the websites for all over New Zealand, and there is nowhere else in New Zealand that these campers are this close to a residential house. These people are camping 20 metres from our bedroom. That's 37 steps away from our bedroom where we sleep. We wanted to retire to this house and make memories with our grandsons that our children have made with their grandparents. I'm sorry, this is very emotional for me because I'm very tired and stressed. We are now not sure what to do. We have had quotes for double glazing to help with this noise level, but with the cost being $24,000 and there is no guarantee that it will end our problems. My husband has also decided if it doesn't stop the noise, we will have to take all the jib off our bedroom walls and put expensive noise control bats and jib on the walls. This was not in our plans to update the house. We are now having to rethink our plans and work out where do we go from here. Do we sell and destroy all our dreams, or do we stay and just put up with this, which is really not an option? We love our little home and want to spend our retirement here in this home, to spend time enjoying the sea breeze and the sea noise as we go off to sleep. We can no longer leave our bedroom windows open at night because the wood make the noise even louder. I have issues sometimes with sleeping, and sleep for me meant in our egg chair on the patio. But of course that's out of the way now. I had a small stroke after a very stressful time in our life, and I worry that this lack of sleep and stress could have another one. My husband is a classic car enthusiast and was quite a few projects in the garage. However, he feels with the lack of sleep, he no longer feels inclined to do anything that he can't, because he can't do the intricate details that some of these cars need to fix. And these are his pride and joy. So, as you can see, this is truly a cry for help from us. We are truly at our wits' end and have nowhere else to go. We don't want to live on Broad Park camping ground, but we do want to live on 3 Broad Park Road. So I guess in summing up, we want these people from camping on our street by reinstating the camping restrictions that previously was in place and getting our lives back so we can once again retire in peace. That's it.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was very, very moving.
Thank you.
I know exactly where that park is. I used to play down there when I was little.
Yeah, so did I.
It used to have massive trees.
Yeah.
We're just, Mary and I are just looking at the Google Maps thing to see well, I know where
Yeah.
it is, but just to
Yeah.
show where it is. So we will look into something there, because I feel your pain. I feel what you're having to put up with. So, and I'm sure the people with the petition coming up next will be talking a similar sort of story in some way.
Yep.
So, Mark, question, please.
Sorry to hear of what you're going through there. Have you made many noise complaints through to council on these?
The time of the night that these happen, noise complaints isn't there. My husband has done a couple online just recently, because it is, as I said, getting to the point now we just at our wit's end, we don't know what to do. He has a bowel condition and he needs to get up several times a night anyway, and now once he gets up, the rest of his sleep is broken as well. So for him it's a big issue, and for me also.
Really sorry to hear that, and hopefully our team can help you with something there.
Kelly, and then Pauline.
Yeah, thank you for bringing this to our attention. What are the rest of your neighbours saying?
The rest of our
how
neighbours
affected are they?
have houses where their bedrooms are at the back of the section, whereas ours is, as I say, 37 feet from our bedroom. Our house is, I think, maybe one of the only houses in that street that have their bedrooms so close to the front of their homes. We do hear our neighbours complaining about the noise, and, well, not so much the noise, but the disruption to their life with the mess and the people doing the things that these campers are doing. So it's, for them, it's a bit of a different story, but for us, this is really impacting on our health. And yeah,
What about rubbish and things like that?
occasionally we've had them leave stuff in the car parks. We had a couple 2 nights ago now. There were 2 vans with a park between them, and all day they sat there and cleaned out their vans. And when I came home from taking my grandson home from school, there were like 10 rubbish bags full of rubbish sitting in that park. The chap that comes around to check on people also stopped and did talk to him, talk to them, and eventually they did clear all the mess away. But as I say, for us, we could put up with that if we could just get some sleep and try and get our lives back together, really.
Okay, thank you.
Pauline?
Similar, I was just going to ask if maybe reducing the size of it so that they couldn't park around your house, would that help?
Well, they park, there's usually 10 at least vehicles parked along that street every night, so the whole street is taken up by them. I don't think having a certain amount, they won't use that anyway. There is a little area down at the end of Broad Park Road that is like a recessed part, whether or not they'd park there, but then they're further away from the toilets, which they want, which is why they park outside us, because we're directly above those toilets.
Thank you very much for coming in and bringing that to our attention.
Thank
Wonderful.
you for taking the time to listen.
Thank you.
Thank you.